Welcome. We have like a few more minutes to see if anyone else joins in, partakes, and yeah, just invite you to get comfortable, grab whatever you need, water, journal, blanket, um, cards. You can light an incense, light a candle, whatever you feel is being called, creating a sacred space. I'm burning some pine needles right now that I collected from my lovely tree from outside. So I'm excited for that. Yeah, so we're gonna be doing this Reiki clinic today. Pretty excited. Feeling the vibes, feeling the healing. This is my first time like hosting a Zoom call, so if you see me kind of fumbling around, that's probably why. Still trying to get used to what how this all works, but it's okay because it's the first time for everything, and life's about learning and lessons and things. So hello, hello. Yes, welcome, welcome. Hi, Midori. Hi, Siobhan. I'm grateful you guys are showing up. Yeah, I'm giving it maybe like probably like 10:05. We'll really start like getting into it. Start with like the opening prayer and grounding. And then, yeah, we'll just go through it. But I'm excited. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for participating. And yeah, it's gonna be good. Feel it, feel it. I was like sending Reiki to myself like the past few days, just open the channels. And that's why I love distance Reiki because you really could just set the vibes, ahead of time. So it's like past you looking out for future you. Mm. So can y'all hear me well? Is the audio good? If y'all could just comment that or give a thumbs up, something. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm using my laptop and it's kind of an old one, so but I wanted to make sure. And then I don't know why whenever I use my AirPods, the volume doesn't translate, so I'm going AirPod free. Just wanted to ensure that. Okay, cool. This is fun. All right. It is 10:05. See if there's any other, other people trying to catch up. So, welcome everyone. This is the first of many free Reiki clinics. And so, my name is Papi Yugi. Thank you for showing up, participating, being here, having me here. And yeah, I'm just sending my love and gratitude. This is something that's kind of been in the works for a minute. My journey with Reiki has definitely been a beautiful one. And surely I believe everyone should just know Reiki, know how to heal. Um, I don't feel like you need to know Reiki to know how to heal, but I do. I could vouch for myself and my own experience how much Reiki has transformed my life. I literally use it every day on everything, on myself, on everyone if I feel like the vibes are not good. So it's beautiful. It's honestly such a beautiful, wonderful thing, and I'm just so grateful that we get to, learn it and know it and work with it. And it's something that is of accessibility. I feel a lot more now. Even it being a free clinic today, just, when Reiki was first developed, people were charging like tens of thousands of dollars to learn it. Um, which give or take, I guess, depends on how you feel about that. But I do feel like healing shouldn't be gatekept. I do feel like healing should be accessible to everyone, especially with something so profound and just really beautiful like Reiki. So I'm here for it. I'm always for it. I did pull a card for today's session. We got the High Priestess. So yes, it was already feeling good. It was feeling activated. I was feeling activation, integration, and as well as like a little introspection. So I'm excited. This the High Priestess definitely was bringing a message of strength, determination, and also just like that High Priest energy. I do feel like Reiki is very, it is holistic. It is not tied to any specific religion or dogma, anything like that. But I feel like to really embody Reiki is to embody your priest or priestess energy. I've been like trying to say priest, which is like with a Y instead of like an I, just because I felt like that'd be more gender neutral. Because I'm like, I don't know where I fall into that category. So the High Priestess, this will be our guiding energy for today. Just to remind you to reclaim your power. And this is what I feel this clinic's about, is about reclaiming your power. And because Reiki is within all of us. It is within all of us. It's always flowing, it's everywhere, everything. You could say it's God frequency, if you will. And so that's why I feel it's our birthright to learn it. And that's why I also want to give these free clinics. Just to put out there, this isn't going to be like a traditional like class. I go mainly where I was working with the spirit of Reiki yesterday, just to see what would be like the main points I should be covering today, and that's how I'll be going about it each month. Is I'll just look at what I already have kind of on my own like course curriculum, and just kind of pick and choose what I feel would be like the best topics for that month, for that week, as well as just like kind of where to focus the areas. I do feel moving forward, I will be covering a lot of different topics of Reiki, so this I won't have any specific order. I'm very go with the flow, so that's just how I was feeling today. It's just going with the flow. So with that, I invite y'all to just get yourself comfortable. We're just gonna take some grounding breaths, do an opening prayer, however you feel fit. Again, everything is an invitation. You don't have to feel like you have to be on camera, speak out, do anything. If you want to do some movement, however you feel fit, whatever is comfortable for you. I always encourage everyone to trust their intuition, their body, and what feels right for them. Why don't you just close your eyes? Go ahead and take a couple grounding breaths. Deep inhale. We'll hold at the top. We'll exhale slowly. Beautiful. Deep breath, inhale, filling the belly, filling the chest, having the air enter the heart. Exhaling slowly. With each breath, I want you to just envision yourself filling with light, being filled with love, being filled with energy and presence and peace. When you exhale, exhaling love and releasing anything that is not serving you in this moment, from this day, from the past week. Doing your best to allow the mind to relax, the body to calm, and your heart to open as we ground our energies into Pachamamita, allowing our roots to sink and grow deeper into Mother Earth, creating a stable and strong foundation for today's meeting. And with these firm roots, we begin to extend our branches up into Padre Cielo, the great I am, having the roots connect us to the celestial bodies, drawing down this cosmic wisdom, activation, and alignment, casting a circle of safety and protection around our spaces as we invite our loving ancestors, our guardian angels and archangels, our benevolent spirit guides, and calling forth the spirit of Reiki itself to lend its guidance, its love, and assistance for today's meeting, for today's clinic. As we tap in now to the collective consciousness of all Reiki practitioners, masters, teachers, both present, past, and future, connecting into this grid system with fellow Reiki members to lend their guidance, their love, and assistance in today's class. Breathing deep into the heart, allowing any energies you may be feeling in the body or around you to now slither into the heart. And as you exhale, putting out intentions of love, peace, gratitude, awareness. Just taking a moment to feel your energy now, becoming the observer, noticing your thoughts, emotions, sensations, and not giving too much attention to them. Just taking note of them and allowing your heart to be a transmuter and shift all thoughts, emotions, and sensations into love. Taking a deep breath, inhale. I invite you to chant Om as you exhale. Om. Deep breath, inhale. Exhale, Om. Om. Deep breath, inhale. I'll chant Om one more time to ground the energy down. Exhale, Om. I want you to bring your hands to your heart. Just take a moment for gratitude. What are you grateful for in this moment? Is it your mind, your heart, your body, your health, food, water, clothing, shelter, your car, your job, your pets, your family? Whatever you may be grateful for, just hold that in your heart now and feel it activate your aura and your energy into that of gratitude, into that of unconditional love, of peace, presence, patience. In this moment, just say to yourself and to your heart, I love you, my heart. Thank you, my heart. You do so much for me, heart. I'm grateful for you, heart. I love you, my heart. Thank you. Go ahead and take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale with a nice sigh. Some cleansing breaths to bring ourselves back into this present moment. Deep breath. Inhale. Exhale with a nice sigh. Do one more deep breath. Inhale. Exhale with a nice sigh. Invite you to bring some movement into the toes, into the fingers, coming back into the body, blinking your eyes open whenever you feel ready. I invite you to lift your arms up, inhale. As you get to the top of the crown, right above, exhale slowly, bringing the hands down, just grounding the energy down, sweeping through the aura, touching your thighs, knees, feet, or the ground, whatever you feel comfortable doing. Just really bringing that energy down. Let's do one more. Inhale, sweep the arms up, lifting up this divine energy to the cosmos. As the hands reach the top, exhale, bringing the arms down, sweeping through the aura. Pressing the energy of the thighs, knees, feet, or ground, wherever you feel comfortable. Closing this prayer, intention, meditation, giving thanks to all spirit guides that are present with us in the highest form of unconditional love. We say Amen. Aho, Ashe, Ometioto, blessed be in Zoe. Priestess has a message. She wants to remind us that we have the power to transmute and cultivate energy in any given moment, in any given space, at any given time, and to not be afraid of that power or to take up space or hold space if you are in a situation or circumstance or area around people where you feel that energy needs to be transmuted to bring you back into alignment and homeostasis. She wants to remind you that you are the moon and you're illuminated through the moon. Thank you, Heavenly Mother God, Heavenly Father God, antepasados amorosos, Pachamamita, Padre Cielo, to all spirits and guides of the highest form of love and light. And thank you to the High Priestess energy for being here, reminding us of the power of feminine. How y'all feeling? That was needed. I feel a lot more calm and at peace. I would say, prior to this, I was feeling a bit nervous and anxious. I wasn't really sure how that was gonna go, but you can never knock the power of meditation or just some breath work and breathing and just how that activates. So yes, and uh, so happy resonated. I pray that you guys got that medicine. And so, yeah, so let's go ahead and get into it. So today is Sunday, March 2nd, 2025, for so many Reiki clinics. Today is Sunday, so we're working with the energy of the sun, very Heru energy, which is Horus in the Kemetic pantheon. And so, as we get into this, so today's intentions, so today's intentions, the intention for today's clinic is to work in collaboration with the spirit of Reiki, the ancestors, angels, and guides of the highest vibration of unconditional love, and creating a safe space for evolution, learning, and empowerment. There is a no tolerance policy for homophobia, transphobia, xenophobia, sexism, racism, or any other ism that isn't cute. I ask that you are respectful of other people's time, energy, and stories when sharing. Please use chat room for questions and comments. And then have awareness that this meeting is being recorded to share on platforms. So if that is something you're not comfortable with, you don't have to have your camera on or be so active. But if you are okay with that, then those are basically just kind of the rules and guidelines for today. you guys consent to these and are just okay with that, go ahead and drop an emoji in the comments. And then yeah, we'll continue. Yeah, cool, cool, period, period. All right. So let's go ahead and get into this. So first, I feel to understand Reiki, we have to understand energy, and energy is everything, you know, and we are energetic beings. Everything has energy, everything on a molecular, atomic level. Atoms are always vibrating, even on like a solid matter. I was like, I don't, I'm trying to find something solid, like this pine cone, even though it's not physically like moving, it does have energy radiating off of it because the atoms within it are moving, they're vibrating, and that's everything, everything that exists in life, from the stardust to the earth to us to water to animals to just the air, everything is atoms and is vibrating at some form of degree. And so everything is energy. Again, energy across cultures, everyone, they have different names for it. And overall, the energy, I feel that is existence. Um, Again, there's different things. You could say it's God, if you will. So those who are study Reiki, learn Reiki, practice Reiki, will say it's Reiki. That's what we're in working with. Um, but for energy across cultures, just have a breakdown. In Chinese medicine and teachings, they call it qi. In Japanese, it's ki or gi. In Kemetic teachings, it's known as Sekhem. In science, it's known as the biofield. Eastern Sanskrit energy, it is known as prana. And then Western medicine, it is known as spirit, source, universe. And again, God, if you will. So energy is seen, practiced, studied, worked with across cultures, across the world, from ancient times to now. It has many different names. It is studied in many different ways. It is practiced in many different ways. So however you want to take that, work with that, whatever feels right to your own uh, culture, practice, and just the way you work with energy. And again, I just put God at the bottom. I know that word may be triggering for some people, but I do feel, you know, God is has many forms and many aspects, and God is energy. God is love, and that's my own philosophy and how I view it. Especially with Reiki, Reiki is love and unconditional love, and I feel like it's gives us the access to really tap into that God frequency and that love frequency and that light frequency, which you could do without Reiki, but I feel like Reiki just gives you that. It makes it a lot more, what's the word? Concrete, I'll say. And it feels a lot more tangible than not doing it with Reiki. So, Reiki. So, breaking down the word Reiki and what Reiki really is. We have it's pronounced Reiki. And so my teaching, I have heard people say pronounced as Reiki. Uh, However you wanted to say. I've heard people say Reiki. Um, Honestly, it's all the same. It's all going to be spelled the same. But Reiki overall, simple definition, it translates to the universal life force. If you want to break it down, it's broken down into two parts, which is Rei, the first part, and that translates into universal. Universal means omnipresent, so it's always present, all around us, all times. Omnipotent, it's all powerful. It's powerful. It's Reiki has the power to do anything and everything, and that's I definitely have some examples I could share as we continue my experiences with that. And then omniscient, it's all knowing. So Reiki is its own energy, its own thing, its own consciousness. It knows what it's doing, it knows what it needs to do, it knows where it needs to go, it knows how it needs to work and activate. So that's how you would describe the Rei aspect of the Reiki. And then Ki, which translates to the life force energy that exists in all living matter. And it is the focus for many TCM, traditional Chinese medicines, practices such as Qigong and Tai Chi. Um, and so Reiki itself does descend from the way we learn it today from Japan origin. And I feel like that's why I had developed the word Reiki. But overall, it's not, again, tied to any specific uh, tradition, culture, religion. It's seen across a lot of different things. Reiki is itself just really powerful. And, even in studying, um, okay. So the power and potential of Reiki is limitless. It can be used for everything and anything. The main objective of Reiki is complete relaxation by bringing ease to the mind, the heart, and the body. Reiki best flows when we are in a clear channel for the energy, keeping our physical bodies healthy, our thoughts and emotions in check, and our spiritual upkeeping consistent will ensure successful and powerful results. Reiki can be used to treat every illness that is known due to its gentle nature. Keep in mind that chronic and serious illness conditions will require consistent treatment to see results. This does not state that Reiki should be used in place of modern medicine or medical treatment, but it can be used in tandem for the betterment of the client. So yeah, so Reiki really is just powerful. It's really that girl, if you will. It's beautiful. And again, in my teachings and learning of it, I'm always learning Reiki. I'm always studying from Reiki. Um, and I always encourage others to just, learn from different teachers, learn from different books and from different courses. There's so many different what's teachings and philosophies and understandings of Reiki. And I feel too, as it progresses and more people understand it, I feel more and more, we'll say, Akashic wisdom is coming out from it for the people who really tap into it and connect with it. And so Reiki again isn't tied to any specific culture, religion. Um, I know Siobhan, you had mentioned too in one of I think last week's Soul Spell, how it's not a close practice, which isn't. It isn't, and I feel like people might get deterred from that. But no, Reiki it's already natural within us. I believe it's already naturally within us. Just learning Reiki and tapping into Reiki, it gives you just that extra oomph to work with the energy and bring about healing and work with the healing energy, just not for yourself but for others and the planet. And you'll hear across other uh, teachers and masters that the more people that learn Reiki and know Reiki, the higher will actually raise the consciousness of the earth and the planet because we'll all be now at that level and activation of Reiki, which again is the highest vibration of unconditional love and light and just energy, just tapping into that God frequency. So Reiki attunement. So to be considered a Reiki practitioner officially, you would need a Reiki attunement. It is necessary. The attunement process opens up your energetic channels, allowing you to connect with the energy of Reiki whenever. Keep in mind that it is possible to connect to Reiki without an attunement, as we are naturally energetic beings, but attunement simply allows for a more fluid and stronger connection. I'll leave it right there. So yeah, so 2 minutes. I really was meditating on this for a minute and really connecting with the energy to see if I wanted to offer attunements during these clinics. I was guided not to, just because I do feel like the attunement process is more of like that sacred aspect of Reiki. Even though it's not like a close tradition or practice and everyone can learn it, I do feel the whole process of going through an actual like course and studying and learning like the real history, philosophy, teachings, and then really kind of earning the process of attunement. I do feel like that is a bit sacred. I also feel like it is fairly easy. And so I was really meditating on that, on how I wanted to discuss that, but Reiki was just basically like, well, just mention the attunement process and how that is kind of a requirement to be considered a Reiki practitioner or to really work with the energy itself. But again, naturally, we are already connected to the energy of Reiki. If you're not attuned, you're only really accessing about like 20% of the Reiki. So you're not at the full 100% of the Reiki. The attunement basically gives you that full 100% access to just tap into it anytime. However, I have learned and read of instances where some people just naturally are born to Reiki. Typically, it's more if people have like parents who are Reiki masters and like they'll automatically be born like just tapped in and connected to just the energy of Reiki. And I have met fellow Reiki masters, teachers, practitioners who had parents and grandparents and stuff who were like Reiki practitioners. So some people could automatically just be born tapped in and tuned in with the energy. I have met other people who never taken a Reiki course or class, know of Reiki, but they were able to just work with energy. I would say that's considered more like pranic healing, and energy-based healing. I wouldn't be considered Reiki just because Reiki does have its own kind of standards, guidelines, philosophy of how you go about the healing process. But I also feel like there is that intuitive aspect of Reiki where you do incorporate like the prana teachings of where the energy is, how to transmute it, manipulate it, work with it to bring about healing. And so yeah, so that was just something that I guess like on the fence about. I wasn't sure how to like go about to offer that, but spirit was just like, just mention it and you'll be good. I was like, okay. So Reiki history, I'm not gonna go too much into the history because honestly the Reiki history is a lot. And so I feel like for each uh clinic we'll just go into different aspects. Um, but I feel like the most first and foremost pioneer and importance of learning the Reiki history is Mikao Usui. So Reiki as we know it today began in March of 1922. So it's only really been like 100 years, give or take, that we've had Reiki as like a physical like system of learning and education and curriculum. But it was created by Dr. Mikao Usui. I put doctor in parentheses because again, if you study from other masters, teachers and stuff, some people say he was a doctor, some people say he wasn't, some people say he actually got his PhD and came to America and studied Christianity and like Buddhism, all these things. Some people say like there's no evidence of that. And so um yeah, his history is pretty interesting, and we'll get into that right now. But he was a Japanese monk, scholar, and philosopher. I know that is pretty like accurate as far as facts. He was actually was it 11th? I want to say he was 11th generation Zen Buddhist monk. So he was like it was in his bloodline to automatically just be in the spiritualness of that. Again, Sui's history is actually quite a mystery, and if you learn Reiki from various sources, you may notice his story differs. And so yeah, there's a lot of different stories. And if you study Reiki or know, I would say a lot of that variation comes from when it was brought over to the States from Madame Takata, um, who was known as a grandmaster. But also in my studying, I've learned that there hasn't been such a thing as a grandmaster. Um, there's just been, what's the word? Influential people within the Reiki development, but no one was ever really considered a grandmaster. That wasn't really a thing. So it was interesting because the way I was taught originally was that they were grandmasters and there was like the three grandmasters, but and studying more and learning from the international, what is it? The ICTM. I can't remember the full pronunciation, but that is from. Oh yeah, of course. Actually, I have it right here. Why am I acting like I don't? I don't got it. So William Lee Rand. This is actually a really good book, y'all. This is one I actually recommend. Spirit was blessed because I actually found this in one of those like leave on take on book houses, and I was like, oh yes, okay, beautiful. Um, so it's cool. It was dope. So this is from William Lee Rand. He is the founder and owner of. Does it say it in here? Let me make sure I get you all the right information. Do, do. The international. Oh, the International Center of Reiki Training. Okay, there we go. That was difficult to find. But William Lee Rand, this is basically, that's a really good website. It's reiki.org. Um, he literally has pioneered such a way for Reiki to be very accessible to just everyone, everything. Um, you again, I came up on this book, and so there's a lot of great information in here. He really did his work to um, this is where I got a lot of that context actually, because he really did the digging into the history because he really wanted to find out where all the Usui facts and traits came from and stuff like that. And so yeah, so I was blessed to find this. I literally just I was just there's this little big one take one book house around the corner. Anytime I'm walking my dog, I'm always peeping in there. And yeah, this was just in there one day, and I was like, oh, perfect. It was a sign. And that was when I was also in the works of developing like my own Reiki course. And so I felt like this spirit was like, oh, here's your confirmation, make your Reiki course. So I was like, okay, cool. And so a lot of great teachings in here, a lot of great just learning. Um, and again, it's really and it goes over the first and second degree. So it does It does touch upon the symbols. It doesn't get the symbols in here, just because again, that is more of like a sacred part, and that is something I'm also meditating on and how I want to go about that. But a lot of great information in here. I could definitely go onto the Reiki.org website, um, get it there. There's a lot of other manuals, pamphlets, informations. Um, you can get your certification there. There's so many different things. So I'm always plugging the people, plugging the things. But great resource as far as learning Reiki. And for that, it also showed me a lot more about the history that I wasn't aware of. And again, it was I was taught differently. But yeah. And so continuing with Usui, so during Reiki basically was created, born, or developed while Usui was doing a 21-day initiation known as Isugo. Isugo. I want to say I'm pronouncing that right, but I'm not 100% sure. Ooh. And so this was performed on Mount Kurama, which is in Japan, and that was basically where all the Zen monks would go and do this initiation. It's a 21-day fast, prayer, meditation, chanting, just pretty much to just get yourself into alignment. And the symbols and energy Reiki just basically blasted into Sui's crown or third eye, however you want to take that, on the last day of his fast. He basically was just trying to reach enlightenment or trying to reach something different. And he was, in Usui's history, he was, again, he was a philosopher, he was a scholar, he was a doctor, however, depending on where you learn. But he was always wanting to learn medicine, learn how to heal, learn how to just develop himself, not just, logically, but spiritually. And so when he did this initiation, it was at a very interesting point in his life where he was kind of lacking guidance or discipline or just he was looking for something more, and he achieved that on his last day. He did it. And they even say that, I believe it's you place 21 pebbles and each day you toss a pebble to like keep track of like how it is, because he's just super in the zone during this initiation. And also Mount Kurama is a very just enchanting, magical, and spiritually charged place. And so the Reiki basically blasting into him receiving the symbols and the energy and all that, could be referred to as one of the four miracles that Asui performed. Uh, and the history from that book, I didn't really touch upon that, but the way I learned was that Usui performed four miracles. So the first being that he received the blessing of Reiki. The second miracle would be that as he was descending down the mountain after this whole, epiphany and enlightenment and just all that, he had, tripped, stubbed his toe, injured himself, and intuitively just started, you know, doing some Reiki on himself. And magically his toe and injury healed and he was just right back on doggy. And he was just sorry, I love dogs. So yeah, he that was like his second miracle and how that just unfolded. The third miracle being that once he reached a village where he was finally gonna get some grub because he was hungry from 21 days of fasting. He the Oh, from my learning and understanding, it was a woman who was serving him, some soup, I want to say, maybe some rice. It wasn't specific on what he was eating, but he found someone where he could get a meal. The woman that was serving his meal was suffering from a toothache and, inflammation and swelling and stuff like that. And he had asked if it was okay if he could place his hand on her toothache. And yeah, all right after that, almost instantly, her swelling went down, the pain went away, all things like that. Basically cured her of the toothache. And, that was also a miracle. And so that was the third one. And then his fourth miracle being that when he arrived back at the monastery where he would stay with other fellow like monks and stuff, that when his roommate was suffering from severe arthritis, and then again he performed Reiki on the his roommate, and basically cured him of his pain of arthritis, and uh, that's where he was kind of like had this epiphany, like, okay, this is something happened on that mountain. I tapped into some type of energy. I can basically just do all these miracles now. What do I do with this? And so with that, afterwards, we went to formalize the curriculum of Reiki. He began teaching others, divided into various segments, and created the attunement process. Uh, so Reiki basically developed from that. Again, there was in that manual. It didn't talk much about the four miracles. So again, I do feel depending on where you learn, who you learn from, how that goes and develops, some you'll hear different stories about how Reiki was developed, stories about Usui, and some will say that he came to study in America and went to Colombia and did all these things. Some will say that there's no evidence or proof that he ever was there. Um, I just feel as long as you know who Usui is and just know that he is like the main person, I feel like whatever history you learn, it's up to you. Again, using your discernment, using your intuition. I also feel like the best way too is like just like meditating and like calling upon Usui's spirit. Like, yo, like give me some insight or wisdom or guidance. Like, how do I work with you? What are we? Tell me more about yourself. Definitely can always do that, tapping into that energy. That's how I learned when I was learning Reiki is to, again, as they were considered grandmasters, to call upon the grandmasters and ask them for their guidance and their healing and their help um, within a session and for self-healing. Okay, and so Reiki itself, going into the history, it's not a new thing and it was not created in March of 1922. Reiki that we know and taught today is what was formed out of that experience that Usui had. But Reiki as a practice, the modality of healing has actually been around for millennia, and some will argue that this method of healing dates back to Atlantean and Lemurian times, and even pre that, past that, all that. Energy healing is seen in numerous paintings, scriptures, carvings, etc., around the world. Whether what was being presented was Reiki or something different, our ancestors understood energy and how to work with it to heal. And so that's why I say Reiki. Again, the name does come from Japanese origin. It is formed in Japanese culture and philosophies and teachings in medicine, but Reiki itself isn't strictly tied to Japanese, like Japan and like the Japanese teachings and philosophies and origins. And because it's seen around everywhere. And the Reiki does come from a Japanese word, which are the two kanjis, which are Rei and Ki, and that is how it was formed. But yeah, Reiki itself and as energy, I do feel, you could see it dated back in many, many ages, millennia, times. And yeah, so yeah, they say the Atlanteans used it, the Lemurians used it, um, ancient Kemet used it. And again, however you want to see it, you could call it Reiki, you could call it prana, you could call it energy. It's all energy work. And so our ancient ancestors and those of the past definitely knew that energy was able to be manipulated and worked with and used to heal. And so yeah, that is some Reiki history that we're gonna touch upon today. So, one thing we'll be touching on today are the Reiki pillars and the Reiki principles, which are basically the foundation for just really connecting with the energy and really just tapping into it. So, Reiki pillars are the three steps to ground, connect, and develop a relationship with the spirit of Reiki so that you may be guided. The three pillars are Gasho, Reijiho, and Shirayo. And so we'll get into that right now, actually. So, Gasho basically being bringing your hands into prayer, keeping your thumbs pressed against the heart space. And this is basically what it is. It's just sitting in this for meditation. Typically, while you do Gasho, you would recite the Reiki principles, which are basically five affirmations or declarations to connect with the energy of Reiki, but also serve as a base for living life. Like they're a good, like just kind of a philosophy to take about every day. Uh, Gasho is definitely recommended to sit and hold it at least 10 minutes every day, in the morning, in the evening, to just really connect with the energy. And you really do feel that channel, that surge of energy when you sit in Gasho and you have your hands pressed against, one another and you're really focusing that attention on this. Also because there are, nerve endings and meridian points in the palms and in the fingers. So I have noticed that sometimes like I could be having like a pain or sensation somewhere in my body, but just by having my hands pressed together, it's automatically being sent to that. That's where we're going back to Reiki being omniscient and knowing. It knows where to go. It knows where to flow to. It knows where in your body, where in your energy, where in your aura needs the healing the most, and that's where it'll be directed. Placing your hands there does amplify the energy, but overall Reiki will be channeling and funneling to wherever it needs to go. And so gosh will basically be that. Hold that until you just really feel that you are connected with the energy. The next pillar or the step would be to go into Reiki Ho. So it's basically just moving the hands from the heart to the third eye, placing the thumbs on the third eye. And in this moment, this is when you would just say your prayer, ask for higher guidance, ask to be guided, ask your hands to just be a vessel. You're basically relinquishing control in this moment to the spirit of Reiki, to your angels, to your ancestors, to your spirit guides, asking that you just be used as a vessel and channel for the healing energy. And yeah, and you would just do that until you feel again that your prayer's done, your intention's done, your affirmation's done, just feeling it. Always giving thanks and gratitude to the spirit of Reiki, to the collective consciousness of Reiki masters, teachers, practitioners, grandmasters, if you will, to your guardian angels, your spirit guides, your loving ancestors. Just surrendering control, the ego, emotions, and thoughts to be in clarity and service. When you feel ready, we bring the hands down to the heart center again. Sitting with these energies brings about healing in a way that allows you to truly just observe where in your body, where in your mind, where in your heart may have just need some extra love, some extra care. Visualization would also be used to just imagine a circuit of energy flowing from the heart down the right arm into the right palm, transferring to the left palm, up the left arm, and back into the heart. Just visualizing this circuit of energy or electricity just swirling through. Begin to notice that it may be amplifying and charging and increasing. Feel tapped in. We'll go into the next step of Chi Ryo, which will bring the palms to the crown, connecting with higher consciousness. Just asking that the hands be guided to anywhere along the body or the aura that could best use the healing energy today. And as you begin to surrender, just see where your hands land intuitively. They can either be right on the body or just hovering in the aura. For me, my hands are guided to my left shoulder. I want to say large intestine, maybe my liver. That is where the spirit knows that I need the most healing. Except a surrender is what I feel allows a really powerful session to not be thinking about the next move, but to truly just feel and allow yourself to be guided. You could think of it like being a puppet. The Reiki's pulling the string. Your hands just go to where they feel best serves. I want you to take a deep breath. Exhale slowly. I invite you to inhale, raise the arms up, raising the energy, vibration. And exhale, drawing the energy down. Landing on the thighs, knees, feet, or ground. Bring the palms to the heart. And bow into yourself with a namaste and gratitude for bringing this healing energy into your space. So that was basically the Reiki pillars. Um, Very powerful. I definitely was feeling that energy. Um, Definitely had some healing on my body that I didn't know I needed. And so yeah, then you could always recite the Reiki principles. Again, these affirmations and declarations while you're doing the healing in different parts of the body. But the Reiki principles are they're very potent. I really like saying these. Typically, you would want to say them while you're in holding gasho during your meditation. And that's all you do for the day, that's all you do for the day, and that's okay because there is definitely a lot of power in that and how that shows up. Um, yeah, got a lot holding in that left shoulder, you know. I feel like I the way I'm kind of interpreting that is the weight of the feminine right now. It's kind of being suppressed, and so that's how I'm interpreting it. Just because again, we all got masculine, and feminine energy, and you know, I feel like as the feminine's rising, it's like, hey, like let's not be so aggressive. Let's be mindful. And so the principles they start with just for today because again, if you forget to say them, do them, sit in meditation for the day, again, today's just today. You have tomorrow. You have another opportunity. You have another shot. This isn't meant to be like the Ten Commandments, you know, and like follow it so strictly. Because Reiki again, it's a practice. It's a healing modality. It's not a religion. It's not a cult. It's not like any of these. Uh, you know, some spiritual traditions that are very strict, and you have to, you know, do your daily meditation and practices and devotion and fasting and sacrifices and all these things. It's not any of that. This is just a way of healing and a way of learning. And the pillars and the principles are honestly just more guidelines and for us to embody to just connect deeper with the energy and connect more with the energy and also to just make sure that we're in a constant flow of energy Because then your Reiki gets stronger the more you practice it, the more you sit with it, the more you work with it, the more you use the Gasho, Reiki Ho Chireo, the more you recite the principles, it will grow and grow and grow. And again, even if you decide to, if you slip off of it, you're not doing it, the Reiki's still going to be there. But I do feel if you really want to be, again, a Reiki practitioner, master teacher, and you really want to work with this energy and be that, um, it is having some slight discipline and working with it and being devoted to just enhancing your energy. And again, practice makes progression, not perfect. And so you're only ever gonna keep enhancing your Reiki energy with that. And so the first one would be just for today, I will not worry. These are my own kind of variation of it. You'll, again, with these, you'll see across different teachers and platforms and stuff that people say it differently. This is how I like to interpret it and how I like to say it, just because it aligns with me. And so just for today, I will not worry. Just for today, I will not be angry. Just for today, I will work with honesty and devotion. Just for today, I will express gratitude for all I have. And just for today, I will be kind to myself, everyone, and everything. Again, these are generally how I learned it. I did just tweak the words a bit, um, but this is my interpretation, how I like to say it. And again, I always encourage people to just find what works best for you. I'm a big and advocate for like intuitive healing and trusting your intuition and just trusting yourself and what feels right for you. Because I also am very eclectic, and so I like to take bits and pieces of a lot of things I learn and I create my own thing and do what feels right for me. Because it's everything, everyone's their own person, their own difference, and that's why I don't really resonate with religion because I don't feel like I could be that strict with myself. And so that's the Reiki principles and pillars. And that's beautiful. So let's see. Okay, cool. I'll have fun. My favorite topic. So the aura and chakras. So Reiki focuses on two main energetic systems of our being. The chakra system, which represents the seven energetic centers aligned along our spine up to our crown. Each center is connected to a different aspect of existence, therefore keeping them aligned creates harmony, balance, and peace in life. The aura expands on the chakra system, our energetic field that surrounds us, protects us, and empowers us. Each layer of the aura is associated with a different chakra center and serves a specific purpose in our homeostasis. So, this is basically where you will focus for most Reiki healing practices, sessions on yourself or on others. And you can focus on a bunch of other things. I do cover a bunch of my own course of like all the other systems of the body, which I'm also still learning, so I wouldn't say I'm an expert in it. But definitely aura and chakras, this is like my field of expertise. Like this is where I be doing the work. Even before I learned Reiki, it I was already just doing this pranic energy healing work on like friends and coworkers and family, and I didn't know what I was doing, but just I learned about the chakras. I was like, okay, maybe if I just work on this chakra, like this will happen. And that's just kind of how it happened. And then I learned Reiki and I was like, oh, so I was kind of doing Reiki the whole time. Like I just didn't know it was Reiki, or I didn't know the positions, I didn't know the placements, but I was always working with energy. And so we'll start with the chakras. So the chakras, again, across many cultures. This system is more specific to Eastern tradition and medicine. Um, there is some traditions they focus on just three chakras. Some traditions will focus on 13 chakras. Some traditions focus on a variety of different chakras. And so the chakra systems, they're pretty simple. So we have the root chakra, which is the Muladhara, associated mainly with instinct and at the base of the spine, and it's associated with the earth energy. So that one, that's be the first one. I have to really keep us grounded in this physical realm. Then we have the Swadhisthana chakra, which is the sacral chakra. That'll be the next one up. Associated with the water element, our emotions. It's just right below the belly button, just in again that sacrum sacral area. Then we have the Manipura, which is the solar plexus chakra, associated with the fire element. And this is associated with our identity. I like to locate it like right at the sternum, right below the sternum. But identity, our ego, our power, our will. Right after that, we have our Anahata chakra, which is the heart, associated with the air element. Its main function is love, and it's in the center of the chest. And the heart chakra is like my favorite chakra, honestly. It's so beautiful. And it is the bridge chakra. It is what bridges the three lower, so the Manipura, the Swadhisthana, and the Muladhara, to the upper chakras, which we'll get into right now. And so the next one will be the Vishuddha, which is the throat chakra, associated with the element of sound, uh, which is at the center of the throat for communication, expression, authenticity, as well as honesty and truth. We have our Ajna chakra, which is the third eye, associated with the ether elements. It holds our intuition, our sight, our vision, our psychic past, our dream, located between the brows, right in the center of the forehead. And then we have the Sahasrara chakra, which is the crown chakra, associated with our consciousness and just overall just connection to the divine. And it's located at the top of the head. And so that's just kind of a quick breakdown of the chakra system. Uh, Pretty standard. They're associated with the colors, so it's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. And the crown has various. Some say violet, some say pink, some say white. I always see it as like a very light pink-ish color. That's how I like to interpret it. But again, to each their own. Everyone has their own different thing for that. And so then the way that the chakras connect with the auric system, the root chakra is associated with the etheric body of the aura layer, which is basically that first layer of our aura is the one closest to our body, to our skin. And this is basically what keeps us molded in this physical form. And it is the one we're most connected to, and we know, and it is the one that can be the most easily disrupted based off energies around us. And then we have the emotional body, which is connected to our sacral chakra, which makes sense because the sacral holds our emotions and is our emotional center. And this emotional body, again, it extends a bit further out from the etheric body. And this is where your emotions hold. So if you really want to get through some heavy emotions, you want to tap into the etheric body, which I want to say is just a couple inches from the etheric, sorry, I said etheric, I meant emotional body, emotional body, which is just a couple inches past the etheric body. And you will find that working in that layer of the aura, um, there is a lot of emotional debris and a lot of emotional trauma that gets stored there because it can get stored in the body as well, but it is also in the auric field. And so then after that, the solar plexus chakra is associated with the mental body. And this one's interesting because as a solar plexus, it is our emotion, not our emotions, our identity, our ego, our willpower. And a lot of that is tied to our beliefs, what we believe about ourselves, what we believe about the world, what we believe about others. Um, and so I do feel that there is that a tie and connection from the solar to the mind. And just that connection really creates an interesting dynamic. I would associate the solar with the third eye, that they are tethered together because they go hand in hand because your thoughts and your mental body, they're all connected right there. And so that layer of the aura is definitely for people. You would work in that layer of the aura when it's you just feel like someone's having cloudiness, fogginess, like they just can't seem to get their mental right. Probably a lot of people who may be suffering from some type of mental illness or disease. Typically, if you're working on that layer of the aura, that's where you will find kind of that cause or that root or that element or entity or whatever it is that may be provoking or yeah, I guess provoking that that mental illness. And so then the heart is associated with the astral bridge. And again, we're saying the heart is the bridge from the lower to the upper realm because it's love. Love is what bridges everything. And so the astral bridge, the astral body, that's where the heart is. Um, and again, this is just the center of love. This is the bridge that it just brings everything together, ties everything together. So this layer of the aura is truly, it's really expansive and it has its way of still it's its own layer, but it's also like involved in all the other layers, if that makes sense. So the astral bridge is really it's really beautiful. And you really feel that mainly in like that chest area. But it's important to know that the heart is always gonna be just that point to really bring everything back into the homeostasis as the astral bridge. Um, for people who maybe like too up here and not grounded, or people who are too grounded and need to get activated more. And so then the throat chakra, especially with the etheric template, this is basically the way I like to interpret it is it's like our outline for our physical body. So this is basically what our physical body looks like, but like if you were to like silhouette it out or like shadow it out or just like have an outline, or just like the way in the photo looks too, just the way it's kind of just the outline of a body, but it's not like this physicalness. That's the best way to describe the etheric template. It's basically just the outline of what our physical body looks like, but in the astral realm, in the etheric realm, in like the cosmic realm. That is what that is what our etheric template is. It's basically just our soul, what our soul blueprint outline looks like um, in that. And so then we have the celestial body, just connected to the third eye. And again, this is the layer where you receive the downloads, you receive the wisdom, the knowledge, the Akashic connection, the just everything that's psychic. This is where the layer two, where you would receive most of the time, depending on what gifts are activated in you. But this is the celestial body is a layer where your psychic gifts will you'll get that first intuitive punch or hint. And that's the layer it comes through first is the celestial body. So, you know, if you are like a sight person, like that first instance of seeing something, it's gonna enter first through the celestial body and then like integrate into the rest of the aura. Or, you know, if you're a claircognizant person, that download is gonna come through the celestial body. Or, you know, if you are like a tasting person or hearing person, those first instances they enter through the celestial body and then like eventually make their way through the layers to physically experience what the psychic download was or is. And then we have the etheric template, which is associated with the crown chakra. Again, this is the layer that truly just connects us with the divine. And it's our outermost layer. It's also just our sense, our field of protection. Like this is the one that if you aren't spiritually in tune, if you're not spiritually aware, if you're not spiritually protected, guarded, if you don't keep up with yourself, this is the layer where dis-ease will enter. This is the layer where entities will enter. This is the layer where like anything that you just don't want up in your aura is going to enter and it's gonna make its way into the physical body in physical form. So this is our outermost layer, but it is also our strongest, our one that needs to stay the strongest and be the strongest because it is also our most protective layer. Because this is the first, if you're thinking about the way the layers expand, this is actually the first layer that engages with your environments, that engages with energies, that engages with people. And then as you get closer and closer in contact with whatever, those are the layers that you feel like, okay, like now you're exchanging a lot more energy. But first and foremost, this is important. And this is why it's important to just be conscious and be aware and be spiritual and meditate. Meditation is the best way to keep you that aura strong. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. Also, what's coming to mind I do want to share is most dis-ease, most discomfort, most pains, most everything starts in the aura. So people who have a weak aura, who don't have a strong etheric template, they they took on something. And depending on how they're strong the rest of the auric layers are, it took time for it to reach the etheric body. And once it reaches the etheric body, now it's in the physical body. So, you know, let's say someone got like a liver disease. That started with probably something entering the aura and they took time and they weren't taking care of themselves. And now it's finally reached their liver and now they're having all these complications, gotta go to the doctor and stuff. But most things can be treated through the aura. And that's something really beautiful about Reiki is that it was started as a hands-on practice, but it doesn't need to be hands-on. And honestly, I have noticed that just working on the aura alone, you could really clear a lot more than actually like going on the physical body. But I also do it intuitively, and you always gain consent too before you place hands on anyone. I do feel a good combination of auric healing and physical, kind of like touch healing does really good wonders. But you could really just focus on the aura and on the chakras itself, and you really see great results for a session, whether it's for yourself or for other people. Okay, and then we're gonna talk a bit about somatics. And so, what's 11:11? Cool. Okay, we're good on time. So Reiki is an energy-based modality, but in esoteric philosophy, is energy, even our physical body. Our living vessel is one of the most powerful, complex, and interesting mechanisms that constantly evolves. We are made up of physically of 80% water. Water itself has been found to hold and store memory. When we experience trauma, that energy or emotion gets trapped in a specific area of the body. For example, a knee injury creates stagnant energy in the injured knee. Anxiety is stored in the kidneys, lungs, and heart. Sorrow will be stored in the shoulders, arms, and back. Understanding what areas of the body may be holding onto energy will aid in your Reiki healing. And again, this is going more into like the physical aspect if you are going to do more hands-on healing. Just because if you know where like energy is stored naturally, physically on the body, to what organs, what muscles, what ligaments, what groups, you kind of can bring a bit more logic into the healing session. And that's why I feel like the best sessions are. It's like it's learning control and like, but having this, uh, awareness, understanding and just knowledge of also just anatomy and kinesiology and somatics and the way the body holds on to energies and where it can be. It could also help because you'll understand like, okay, I know I'm supposed to work on this part of the aura, but hey, I also know if I like place my hand on this part of the body, it also like releases stagnation. Something I really do enjoy is uh craniosacral therapy. I don't know if you're familiar with that. Craniosacral therapy is basically you just slightly move the fascia. It doesn't even have to be like the craziest move, like literally just moving the fascia. The cerebral spinal fluid just automatically regulates itself, and all that. It's magic. Like it's magic because it is wonders. Let's see if I can read this. Okay, so just some somatics and just like energy, kind of just like reading and sharing. Oh wait. Okay, so this is just kind of some breakdown of like different parts of the body and where they hold and store energy. So for the left side, it's the feminine energy, it's receptivity, it's the inner world, it's emotions. It's really just feelings. So anything that's on the left side of the body, that is being more like so someone's kind of like uh let's say I've had it too where it's I've cleared through someone's aura and like their left side was a lot more clear than their right side. So they were probably a lot more in their masculine and their masculine energy was just taking a beating. But their feminine, they were really in touch with their feminine side, and that's why I like to see like. And this is more I feel when you're first sweeping the aura at the beginning of the session, whether for yourself or someone, you can really feel that difference on both sides of the body. The right side, which is the masculine energy, it's focusing more on action, logic, thoughts, work, and your outer world. So again, the yin and yang, right and left, feminine, masculine. That's basically how it is. The sun and moon. And that's how that the body's pretty much divided. Which is interesting because the right side of the brain controls the left side of the brain controls the right side, and so it's funny how like everything just like intertwines. So then we have the head, conscious connection, processing, downloads, knowledge, information. This is the head is definitely like in my own personal experience, I feel if you're kind of pressed for time and you're trying to do like a foot healing or just really get like the best results in a short amount of time, focusing on the head, the hands, and the feet are always going to be, I feel, your go-to if you're trying to do something quick and really trying to get some energy. Um, and again, the head is really, I feel like you focus most on in healing just because most people are just really stuck in their head and stuck in their mind and just so bombarded by just this patriarchal masculine society that is all just like logic and thought and work and intellect. So sometimes we just need to like bring that energy down and we like go into the body. The face, it's associated with identity, ego, and masking. So people who may be just having identity crisis, may not know who themselves, may not really just see themselves for who they are. Again, focusing on just kind of like the face for that. Eyes, clarity, psychic vision, physical vision, looking to the past, present, future. And again, these parts of the body too are also associated with like any physical illness. So people like experience like glaucoma. I don't know why glaucomas come through. I think that's when you have like the like gray or fuzziness in your eye, right? And that would be a cataract. Either way, but people have like eye conditions. This is what these are things. And again, this is also the spiritual aspect of it. So it's like, if you're like blind, you may also just be blind psychically and are not actually seeing things for what they are, or seeing people for who they are, how they show up like that. while the ears are for listening to higher guidance, listening to others, and sound therapy. So sound therapy could actually be really beautiful for people who have ear aches and injuries. It's also recommended though that they check in with the doctor to make sure that's safe and because you don't want to like also mess someone up. The nose, sense, aromas, respiration, environmental awareness. The mouth and teeth are associated with communication issues, expressions, health, and affirmations. The throat is associated with issues of true honesty and communication, authenticity, listening and speaking, or silence. The shoulders hold the energy for strength, stamina, power, and encouragement. The arms are associated with resourcefulness, action, work, and movement. While the hands are associated with healing, giving and receiving, nurturing, and life. The heart is associated with love, relationship, connection, romance, and blood circulation. The bones are associated with support, stability, strength, and structure. I know that's one I feel a lot, especially like when I fast. I'm on day 2 of fasting now, but there's been times where I fasted and like I really feel it in my bones, the like energies that are surfacing up. And you can feel that. So people feel like they just have no structure in life. Um, I would recommend that as you're doing the Reiki, just like set that intention, like you ask the Reiki to like enter into their bone and to really heal their bones or their skeletal structure to really bring about that healing. Um, the back, just associated with comfort, support, strength, and confidence, life and freedom. The breast, which is associated with the feminine energy, the divine mother, childhood, could be childhood wounds, of course, nurturing, and the heart. And then we have the stomach, uh, which is digestion, processing, and nourishment and care. Liver, which is associated with anger, fear, resentment, vengeful, spiteful, aggression. Intestines, it doesn't matter if it's small or large, just all your intestines, which is the nerves, digestion, comfortability, and breath. Your kidneys are associated with cleansing, clearing, trauma, stress, and anxiety. Reproductive organs are associated with sexual issues, pleasure, creativity, connection, and intimacy. The bladder, which is anger, fear, trauma, kidneys, reproductive, and sacral energy. Urination or defecation, which is associated with expulsion, clearing, cleansing, attachments, and fear. The hips are associated with intimacy, pleasure, creativity, movement, flow, and inspiration. Thighs are associated with movement, action, support, and activities. The knees are support, movement, tension, dis-ease, and letting go, while the shins and the calves are tension, stress, anxiety, and passivity. Uh, the ankles are associated with friendships, connections, social dependence, and individuality. The feet express freedom, expression, creativity, groundedness, action. I know that's a lot, but these are just kind of some things, some somatic energetics. Uh, so yeah, but very interesting. I feel like it is not necessary, but I like it. It's nice, and because there are times where like I'll just get like like last week actually I just started feeling really bad tightness in my uh my shins and my things. Um, Thank you so much. I appreciate you for showing up. Thank you so much. Blessings, blessings. Yes, thank you, Midori. Have a beautiful day and have fun on your call. I'll talk to you soon. And so, but yeah, so there's definitely yeah, last week I had a lot of tension in my shins and calves, and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, maybe I should like focus on that. And so let's get the shins and calves, tension, stress, anxiety, passivity. I think for me it was tension and passivity. So I was allowing things to slide that I shouldn't have let me let them slide. So right. So this week or this month, I would say I felt into it. We're gonna work on the chakras. So we're gonna start with the root chakra and the sacral chakra today. So the root chakra, just to get a bit more in depth with it and just, show y'all. Uh, the root chakra, which is located again at the base of the spine. In Sanskrit, it's known as the Muladhara chakra. So in Eastern medicine, Hinduism teachings, philosophy, stuff like that, you'll hear them say more Muladhara than the root chakra. Root chakra is just the English version. The Bija mantra for the root chakra or the Muladhara chakra is Lam. We pronounce it with the long A, so it'd actually be Lam. You would say more like L-U-M, the L-A-M, but this is really great. You would really want to chant this if you feel like you need to work on that root chakra, the Muladhara chakra energy. Holding it in meditation, great. This is also the mudra for the root chakra, holding it up or down, however you feel. Um, Up is to bring in more consciousness and awareness, while down is to bring for groundedness and centeredness. Placing it on the thighs or the knees, but that's just how you be love. Yes. And so do that as many times as you need. 21 times is always recommended, but more or less, if whatever you feel. And so, and you'll definitely feel, and as you're chanting in it, you also want to focus on, again, that space right at the base of the spine, which is basically kind of like the right between the genitals and the anus, like that gooch area. It's really where it's all activated. Um, this is associated with the element of earth. It is associated with the color red, and it is associated, and it has a total of 4 petals. So you could also connect with the root chakra by grounding, being out in earth, being out in nature, hugging trees, sitting on the earth, touching the earth, being barefoot on the earth or dirt. That's always a good way to connect and heal the root chakra. Wearing red and aligning and just setting intention, aligning that self with, okay, I'm gonna wear this red and I'm gonna wear it to like activate my root chakra, to heal my root chakra, to tap into the root chakra energy. Again, the number of petals is 4, so you can also do some numerology with that, do things in a line and sequences of 4 and stuff to tap into that root energy. Okay, so energetics. So overall, energetically, the root chakra is associated. Oh, associated with security, safety, survival, your instincts, your hunger, your primal responses, your finances, your material possessions, and your physical health. So those are just some energetics of what are associated with the root chakra. There are more, there are less, but I feel like these are like the main things when focusing on the root chakra and if you're trying to heal certain things or aspects or areas energetically. The location of it is at the base of the spine between the rectum and the genitals, associated with the anus, genitals, skeleton, legs, and feet. So those are the physical associations with the root chakra. So the anus, the genitals, the skeleton, the legs, and the feet. So basically, this whole lower half of the body is associated with the root chakra. And so if you feel like, again, I know we were just talking about somatics, you could like kind of pick and choose. So it's like, okay, this person's having root issues, but they're having it more in their knees. Okay, what do the knees represent? Movement. Okay, maybe they're having trouble having movement because they're having a block in finances. This is how you could kind of take in a bit more logic when you're assessing a client or yourself about how to do healing. So when you have imbalances in this chakra, you will notice that you are experiencing fear, worry, lack of security or safety, financial issues and troubles, feeling ungrounded, deficient immune system, poor physical health, sexually impotent, overly materialistic, greedy, impatient, and body dysmorphia. So these are just some imbalance. So if you're experiencing any of these things, you're more than likely have a overactive or closed root chakra. And so it would be wise to check in and see where your root is at. And so physical signs of dis-ease, discomfort in this chakra will be pain, obviously, in the legs, the feet, the joints, anxiety, stiffness, and lower body. So if you just feel like your legs need a good stretching, your root chakra probably needs some work and healing as well. If you're feeling joint pain, if you're feeling anxious, those are just signs that, hey, maybe I should check in with my root chakra, see if my root chakra is, open and aligned and, functioning the way it needs to. And so then we have the sacral chakra. And so the sacral chakra, again, in Sanskrit, is known as the Swadhisthana. It is the Bija mantra. Oh, hi, Katie. She wants to say hi. um, the Bija mantra of Vam. And so again, long A. Vam. I actually just found out too, because the V's kind of actually pronounce as a W, so it's Swadhisthana, not Svadhisthana. And so then actually the V in the Vam is actually Vam. So it's Vam. You can also say Vam too. But and then the sorry, I lost the train of thought. The mudra for that will be is that uh I don't think it matters whether you have it right or left. I think they just based off masculine and feminine. Just go until what feels right. Because we you hold that right in the lap, right below the belly button, right in the sacral area. One. Yes. And so that's the Swadhisthana chakra, associated with the water element. And so again, connecting with water, drinking water, bathing in water, great ways to heal, connect, and just tap in with that sacral chakra energy. Especially with the color orange, so orange fruits, orange drinks, orange anything and everything. And as the number of petals is 6. And so working with the 6 numerology to connect more with this sacral energy. So energetics of the Swadhisthana chakra will be passion, sensuality, sexuality, creativity, pleasure, emotions, joy, relations, intimacy, and sociability. The location is beneath the belly button, associated with the hips, the womb area, the kidneys, the bladder, the reproductive organs, the prostate, the adrenals, the bladder, and the intestinal tract. I want to say it's more of the small intestinal tract, but I think it does also seep into the large intestinal tract as well. And so those are just the physical areas of the body. So if you're experiencing imbalances in the Swadhisthana chakra, there is a lack of direction, purpose, or passion in life. So if you just feel like you don't know what you like, you got to block sacral. If you're like, I want to create things, but I don't know what to create, your sacral's blocked. Like, I feel like I have a purpose to do this, but I don't know if that's what I should be doing. Your sacral's blocked. That's what basically is. If you're overtly sexual or low sex drive, so if you're just libido is out of balance, that's basically your sacral chakra is out of balance. There could be a stagnant flow of energy. So if you just feel like energy is not flowing the way it needs to, if you're just not flowing or vibing the way it needs to, you gotta block sacral. You could be overly emotional or no emotions. So again, with all these imbalances, it's a spectrum. Because you could be have an overactive chakra, or you could have an underactive chakra. It could be closed or it could be wide open. The goal is balance, homeostasis, to be in alignment. Just because it's open and cracked open, don't mean you're in balance, because that means it's out of balance and out of whack. And so, sorry, just a So it could be overly emotional, or you have no emotion at all and just be really experiencing like apathy, depression, things like it could be lack of boundaries. Lacking in boundaries is really important in the sacral chakra also. Being passive with your boundaries, isolation. Again, just feeling like you want to retreat from the world because you're not feeling in your power or in your flow. Addiction, that's more of an overactive imbalance with the Swadhisthana chakra. Addictive tendencies, behaviors, habits, and codependency. So feeling like you can't be on your own or individual, like you have to have that attachment, because it is also associated with attachments. And so then we have the physical signs. So it could be hip or lower back pain. So those of you who just be like, my back hurting, my lower back be hurting, your sacral is more than likely out of balance. You gotta do some sacral work. Eat an orange. Wear orange colors. Do things with orange. And same with the root. Eat red fruits. Drink red drinks. Like have bread in your diet. Sexual dysfunction. So you were just can't function properly in that time. Probably your sacral's out of balance and blocked. And these are physical signs that you should pay attention to. Kidneys, bladder issues. So if you are someone who can't go potty or goes potty like religiously, those are signs of like, hey, your sacral's needing some work. Digestion issues. So if you just feel like you are having trouble just with that, yeah, just physical. These are just physical signs that like, hey, your sacral's trying to tell you like, work on me, work with me. Anxiety and depression. So those are just signs that you gotta focus on it. I do want to say anxiety is a common one across all chakras, but I, I say where it differs is the type of anxiety. Like, what are you having anxiety about? And that will tell you more when it comes which chakra you're experiencing anxiety. So those are the Muladhara and the Swadhisthana chakra, the root and sacral chakra. And then, yeah. Ooh, we finished just on time. Let's do, let's close with this prayer and meditation. If you guys enjoyed this, if I thank you for participating, thank you for being here, thank you for being present. If you feel it in your heart and you got it in your funds to leave a gratitude donation, I have my Cash App and Venmo right here. If not, it's totally fine. I'm just so grateful that you showed up and you're here today, and I love you. Just know you're beautiful. And so I'm gonna close this with I pray that the spirit of Reiki enters into your heart, reminding you of the love and power that exists within you, and moving forward to attract nothing but joy, peace, harmony, health, and happiness. And I invite you to just close your eyes and take a couple deep breaths. Breathe in, exhaling slowly. I want to bring awareness to the root and the sacral areas. So again, the base of the spine, kind of that's that hip area right in the center. Visioning two orbs, red and orange, just rotating there, and inviting the energy of Reiki to enter, giving it full permission to bring about whatever healing is needed and necessary. Allowing yourself to be here, to be present, to feel, not giving much attention to your thoughts, emotions, or trying to control, just allowing everything to flow. Feeling yourself become more at peace, more aligned. Grateful and thankful. Breathe in and raise our arms. Exhale slowly, sweeping through the aura, landing on the thighs, knees, feet, or ground. Giving gratitude to this moment, giving gratitude to all the loving, benevolent spirits that were guiding us today, to the energy of Reiki, our ancestors, spirit guides, and angels. We close this channel, we close this circle. We remain empowered, enlightened, and aligned, moving forward with the day with love and gratitude. Amen. Aho, Ashe, Om with you. Blessed be. So it is. Unprojected. I love you guys. Thank you for participating. Thank you for tuning in. I pray you received some knowledge from this. I pray you received some healing from this. I pray you received some activation from this. I will be posting these up on, or the recordings on YouTube, I want to say. Also on my Patreon. Go follow me on Patreon to join the tribe. If you'd like a personal Reiki soul session, you can book that on my website, ilovealchemy.com. And yeah, so I love you. Thank you for joining and participating. You look beautiful. You look fine. I'm grateful you're alive. And thank you. So I will catch y'all for the next one.